when this nigga called me, was that, bro, I got a lot of animosity towards you, bro. I've been had it, you a sucker. You be moving sucker ways. I don't like it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It makes me angry. You know what I mean?
Battles like this is what Math lives for.
Yeah.
Battles like this is what Math lives for. And I think this is
where he turns up.
This is his forte right here. This is his strong suit right here. When it's time to talk about what it needs to be talked about, Math ain't hold nothing back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I did that night.
Now you gonna lie?
I'm gonna tell you what I did
Now you
that
gonna
night.
lie?
I saved your
Now you
fucking
gonna
life.
lie?
I saved
Saved my life. You call niggas. I got niggas on camera saying.
He went, woo! I hit him harder than a batch of karma. He was out before he dropped like the Magna Carta.
See, you don't got bars like that. You snuffed me 2 days ago. I still look good. You don't hit hard like that.
Point of why you got scars on your face. You disrespecting me.
Mr. Mills and Dre Dennis.
Yeah, Barfest. Mr. Mills is a guy that we try to keep on as many cards as possible.
Right.
I feel like Mills's profile, well, not profile, but his fan backing, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. People got to realize that this man's talent, bar for bar, and the way he structures his shit, like he has like top tier, to bring that word in, talent. You know what I'm saying? Like when he battled like JC, when he battled Big Cannon, it was like, hey, oh, Mr. Mills, Mr. Mills. And then, you know, all of a sudden fans, they forget how nice he is a little bit. So we try to keep him on as many cards as possible. Dre Dennis, I really wish that him and Chilla went down, and we should still get that done. That's going to be a crazy one. We finally double back on that one. Dre Dennis is a guy that he's been hitting me up for a long time. People forget Dre Dennis was on RBE, probably like 2014. You know what I'm saying? He had a one-rounder that he lost, and then the other guy we brought back because he won. And we didn't get Dre Dennis on the platform ever since then. But you see, he's one of them consistent guys, always brings his energy, always brings his bars. So we thought that was a good bar for bar first three-rounder to kick things off with, you know what I'm saying, Saturday. So, yeah, look for that to be a bar fest and good energy in that battle, too.
Should I tell you my predictions on this, or should I keep that?
No. I obviously won't, but you give me your predictions.
It's the first time I've done this with a league owner. Been like, I think this is gonna happen.
I want to do it. I'm fit for it, but they'll get at me for it. I want to do it.
I think it will be a close battle, but I want to say Mr. Mills 2-1, and this might sound crazy. Dre, don't take it this way. But Dre Dennis has become, because of the whole, like, you haven't graduated from the PGs yet, and that whole aura around him, even though that's a long time ago, I feel like it sticks
stuck
with
with
fans and other battlers more than fans. And I feel like he kind of carries this I'm not losing to him type aura. You know what I mean? I don't think Dre will ever get somebody not writing for him, because they'll be like, I'm not losing to Dre. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I've seen from Mills? I've watched a lot of Dre Dennis battles. I haven't seen him do it yet, but one thing that I've seen Mills do a bunch of times that sometimes separates him is he could come off the bar for bar shit and get into that grown man, mature, real talk.
Right.
He did that in like his second round versus Jay Murder. He did that in one of his rounds versus Oops, where that he was on a card that Math had to miss when Disaster punched Math. He brought a round talking about that, like, yo, y'all ain't gonna be happy till somebody died, like some chest hit and shit, like, damn. You know what I'm saying? He did it in that battle.
That's one of his best rounds.
That's what I'm saying. He had another, was it Granddaddy Perp? He had another battle where he might have been going at the league. Yeah, but the way he structured it was like just some grown man type of shit. Like Mills does that in some of his
Right.
battles.
But he just got to stay hungry though.
He's got to stay
know what I'm
hungry.
saying?
He's got to stay on his shit, and he also needs the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the platforms and the artists work together on that. So I think that's gonna be a good one. But Dre Dennis got a lot of energy. You know, he seems to focus a lot on those haymakers and setups. So that can overthrow opponents sometimes too. So we see how that goes. I think that's gonna be a good one to open up.
I think that the Rosenberg Raw and Craig Lamar. I feel like I like what you're doing with Craig Lamar. You've had him in some battles and gave him some light that he would have never got. I know him from, you know, living in Florida, being in Florida, hearing about him early. But he was always dope, but he has this issue of he can't finish the battle. You know what I mean? But he's had some of his best performances on RBE.
I'll tell you the formula to getting a great Craig Lamar. Okay. So going over his history a little bit, first time I ever saw him was on Milltown Blow shit versus Chef Trez. It was like one of the best battles that year. And that was my first time seeing this kid, and I was like, wow, this motherfucker is ridiculous.
That's a classic spit that heat battle.
Man.
Right.
Yeah. And the first battle we got Craig Lamar on with was versus JC. And that's where, once again, we were just on that tiering shit. Like, it don't matter. Like, I think this kid is nice. JC is considered one of the deadliest pens. Throw his kid in there with him. And that turned out to be maybe top 15, top 10 RBE battles of all time right now. That's on our channel, that back and forth. But one thing that stands out for that battle right there is it was in a place that held only like 50 people. It was in a little studio. That's why we were doing that validation series.
I like that. That's one of my favorite events y'all put together.
Yeah. So that type of formula and that setup right there for Craig, he excelled in crazy. Fast forward, you see his battle like with Oops, right? You know, I pay attention to a person's whole presentation. And I said this to Craig after the battle, and he was like, damn, I didn't think anybody noticed. Like, he kept his dark shades on the whole battle versus Oops, and he let his dreads fall in front of his face. Whereas he was at the press conference the day before, no shades and his hair tied up. When I see something like that, I think like, you know, somebody trying to shield themselves a little bit. It's a barrier between you and the crowd. You know what I mean? Craig sometimes struggles a little bit on an elevated stage with a strong presence in front of him. It throws him off a little bit. And rightfully so. I can't do what they do. If you put me in front of a crowd and I got to go through material or whatever, I'd probably choke and go to some of the shit that people go through as well. But you put him in a pit, small, like a JC or Chef Trez, he's comfortable. He gets in that zone. He starts playing around, being charismatic and shit. You put him on a stage, you know, like when he battled Big Cannon, if you pay attention to his octaves and shit like that, he's nervous. He gets through all of his rounds, but you got to really look for it. I look for it. He's nervous as shit in the Big Cannon battle. And that drum stage that he was on, same thing, same place with Oops, he comes down a little bit. He's shaking up a little bit. So I think this situation, like the music room, the difference between the music room and drum, it's around the same capacity. Drum is a little bit bigger, probably. But the stage is almost level with the floor. Like if you look at the Hitman and Bill Collector battle, you see Hitman talking to people in the front row. Drum is a little bit more elevated. So I think the feel and the vibe for the music room should bring Craig a little bit more into that vibe that keeps him comfortable.
Right.
And if we wasn't going to do the music room with him, I was going to put him in like an on-site battle coming off of the Oops battle, because I keep realizing that sometimes he's thrown off in those situations, and I'm trying to find the right way to get another JC type of performance out of him, because I know he's got the talent. Right. So that's where somebody like me understands those things and then sticks with the person's talent. You know what I mean?
That's a great breakdown. Because I think about stuff on that level sometimes, and I feel like all the league owners need to be thinking on that level. You can't just slap a matchup together.
No, they don't.
But a lot of them do.
They don't. The type of things that we analyze, for many years, we had the reputation of the best battles are over there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, as fans go up and down, sometimes it just depends on where the game is and where the peaks and valleys are. But we've always had the reputation for uploading great battles. You know, you don't have the type of matchups that we do and the type of creativity that we've had unless you think about shit like that.
Right.
You know, if I come off of a battle where Craig Lamar choked versus Oops, and then I put him on the next card, how do I make him successful so then the fans turn around and don't think that we're crazy?
Right.
By analyzing shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So,
but the Rosenberg Raw is a funny matchup because when you say when someone has a presence in front of him, he gets a little nervous. If Rosenberg didn't have anything else, it would be presence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he got to be hungry because he hasn't been as active as he
It's been
was
like
during
2
his
years.
heyday.
It's been like 2 years. I listened to Raw on PSA Radio today. Shout out to Three Letter Man. And one thing that he said that I think Craig Lamar better make sure he's on his A game for is he said he's back. He's in full throttle. He's got a handle over managing his business. Now he brought some of his folk in to play manager, make sure that they're involved in the business side. He only wants to take certain opponents after this battle, and he's taking a full swing again at battle rap, and he's got that hunger back. You know what I'm saying? So I was listening to him on that shit, and he said, this is just as much about me as it is about my opponent. Like, of course, he's focused on Craig Lamar. The person in front of him, he's doing his homework. He's going to have some Taylor shit for Craig. But he knows he's got to make it just as much about himself, his return battle. That's dangerous because somebody walks in there knowing that this could be a pivotal moment for me, just jumping right back up quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, battlers could take more control over their stock and what happens with them next than they think. I know there's a lot of power that resides in the platform. It's like, damn, why you're keeping me off of cards, and then it looks like the leagues make all the decisions and make all the moves.
Right.
But if you're a Cassidy, for example, and you promote the way you just promoted, it's impossible for leagues not to pick you up. It's impossible. If you're coming off of like a a performance like, let's say Oops does with Daylight, everybody wants to book you. Everybody wants you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many examples of that. Serius Jones, when we announced him as one of the replacement battles on that card, where we had Aver versus Iron Solomon, Young Ill versus Ill Will, and we had to switch off those two battles. When we announced Serius Jones, go check the files, go look at the comments on those trailers and those announcements. Everybody was saying, get Serius Jones the fuck out of here. Get him out of here. Like, why you got him on the card?
I remember that.
They didn't want to see it. Like, that card got fucked up badly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really was fucked up. But we liked the matchup. We stuck with it. He gets in there with Ill Will, and they said it's one of the best Serius Jones ever. Right? You
got two of the best Serius Jones ever.
Yeah. Well, his second round with Jims, people say it's one of the best rounds ever. But him versus Ill Will is one of his most overall best battles ever. So the point that I'm making is, now, y'all said get him the fuck out of here, because that's just how a lot of fans were looking at him at that time. He has that type of performance versus Ill Will. Now, no league can ignore him, including nobody can, regardless of whether you have bad business with him, whether you're not paying attention to him. And then after 5 years, he gets a call from URL. You see what I'm saying? So now you're getting more opportunities, whether it's Mike P or this person, whatever. League owners are paying attention again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to turn around and like consider you like, damn, this matchup happened to be math, but I'm pretty sure they're both going to go crazy on this one. Everybody's going to want them after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they control their stock a lot, way more than they think. And that's the thing that Rosenberg Raw, I think, fully understands going into this battle. So that could be fireworks.
I'm going to take a Rosenberg 2-1. And normally I think Craig Lamar's pen is a little more creative. And usually that's my style of MC.
Yeah.
But Craig Lamar's, like, he to me, he never got to the level where I could consistently count on him to spit his hardest shit and just be on point mentally.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 battles in a row.
Yeah. And, that's the thing with Craig. Like, if you're in my shoes, you have to make the decisions between really, really seeing that raw, true talent that the man possesses.
Right.
And then even on the business side, saying, let's push it again. Let's try it again. Let's try this. Because Craig does go like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I kidding? You know what I mean? He does go up and down. But bars, charisma, humor, performance. You know what I'm saying? He calls himself the Haymaker King. And he can make that argument because the man will drop bombs all battle long if he's on his game. So his talent is well worth bringing back even when he's off. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention Craig Lamar has always been a cool guy and easy to work with. So we holding him down. You know what I mean? And he owes me one at this point after the Oops battle. So we see how that goes.
So Jay Murder versus Young Cannon, right?
That's like the energy battle right there.
Why did this not go down before? Like, it seems like something that would have happened 3-4 years ago. Like,
Don't know. This the same reason why I don't got a good excuse for why Young Cannon hasn't had 10 battles on RBE yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
given our presentation and really, really making sure that we put a good amount of quality on our cards. I mean, when you're talking about quality and consistency, Young Cannon is one of those names that comes up.
Yo, I think the year that O-Red won Champion of the Year,
Yeah.
Young Cannon had to be in like the top 3
Is
to
that
5.
is that the year when he battled Danny Myers?
I believe so.
Ridiculous. I recapped that battle, and that battle was a fucking classic. Like, Young Cannon possesses some next level talent. Young Cannon is a guy that I look at, and I really think that he can do that shit twice a month. I just
Right.
think that he's born to construct rounds, remember them, and spit, all them syllables and all them words, and it just comes to him like this. You know what I'm saying? You could look at certain battlers and see people that said, I like battle rap, I want to battle, and they practice and they try to get better and better and better, versus people that were just born to do it. I look at Young Cannon, I'm like, that motherfucker could do that shit every other week if he wants to.
Right.
Maybe faster for all I know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm finally glad to have him on RBE in a 1-on-1 because his debut was a 2-on-2. Him and Big Cannon versus Charlie Clips and DNA. And they got them. They got them pretty bad.
Right.
Like, I admit. You know what I'm saying? They got them pretty bad. But and Jay Murder, he's one of them RBE gunners. You know what I mean? Like, I see people get at Jay Murder a lot sometimes because of like some of the antics that he did in the past. He's kind of past that type of shit, and he brings something to the stage that is entertaining, whether people like it or not. First of all, we all like to see that type of performance where it's that real physical clash.
Right.
He brings that aggression. You know what I'm saying? He brings that performance. But I'll never, ever, 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 ever allow myself to forget how strong his pen can be. I know people don't think about that when they think about Jay Murder, but there's a reason why there was an uproar in the building when the votes came in for JC beating him. You know what I'm saying? If you was in that building, the vibe was no, and not because we was in New York. Even JC was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and then he gives it up to Murder after, like, could have gone either way. This is JC we're talking about. You know what I mean? Same thing like his battle versus Mr. Mills in a small room. You go watch that shit. Like, I pulled up like a recent scheme listening to Math versus Charlie Clips, and Math hit Charlie Clips with like a salad scheme, or food scheme and shit. I bet you don't like no salad bars. Is how he ended it off, right? You want to hear a food scheme? Go watch Jay Murder versus Mr. Mills. Jay Murder has the best food scheme I've ever heard.
I remember watching that battle, but it was a couple years ago now.
Yo, Jay Murder, I like Jay Murder's performance in
That's
his
a small
Mr.
room. Was that validation?
Yeah, that was our first validation ever.
Right, yeah.
I like Jay Murder's Mr. Mills performance so much that it carries forward with me. Jay Murder could have a bad performance, and I'm like, nah, I seen what he did with Mr. Mills. Book him. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's got the JC performance where he proved his pen. And, I don't forget battles that he had on RBE versus like B Magic. That was judged. He took that and the bread. You know what I'm saying? Floss the Boss. That was an okay performance. He had his low point on RBE versus Loso. He wasn't focused. He should have been. And that's where I think he took a dip in his career and fans started to turn on him a little bit. But that was his low point, period. And then he went on a crazy run all last year. He has like over 20 battles last year. Never slipped, never half-assed none of his rounds. All last year, like 20-plus battles. And just coming off of O-Red, everybody gave him his props in the building coming off of the stage versus O-Red. Because it's O-Red. And you got up there and you fought with this man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
he has one of my favorite lines ever.
who, Murder?
I slapped the bitch out you and chill with her.
And chill with her.
Crazy.
I'll smack. And that was in the JC battle. You know what I'm saying? So, Murder's capabilities, man. If the man sits down and he puts his A game to it, and then he brings that performance and that, he's natural with his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when I did my research back in the day, speaking to people like Bloody Knuckles and No Mercy and a few league owners and battlers, back then people said that he's the one that started the PG step, but it was a natural thing because of how he was just moved, his mechanics. And they said Prez Mafia was the one that made it popular on UFF and all that type of shit, but they was running together. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny because when I thought the PG step, I didn't think of either of them because I associated
Dre
it
Dennis.
with just like Yeah, Dre Dennis too, but it kind of became this like corny entity of its own.
Yeah.
There was like, don't be PG stepping out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
First
yeah.
it was funny.
It was, yeah.
But then it became like, oh man, you a PG
But you had a
stepper.
lot of battlers coming out of the trap, and probably a lot of battlers thought that was the wave, and too many people was following it. I remember I did a blog on that shit, and some battlers was tight at me. I was just like, yo, is it me or is everybody doing this shit?
Right.
It's like people were scared to say it, and I was just like, yo, chill. But Jay Murder has natural, you know what I'm saying, performance. You know what I mean? And he brings that element, that vibe, and the bars. So him and Young Can is gonna be a goodie, because I expect to hear some wild penmanship. There's some angles already. They throwing back and forth shots at each other.
Mm-hmm.
But the energy of that battle is gonna be crazy. The energy. So
I have Cannon winning, and it's because just skill wise, I think he's one of the best battle rappers. Just name wise, he doesn't get that, like we were talking about earlier, that quote unquote top tier love.
Yeah.
But he's beat some of the best battle rappers. He's had classics with some of the best battle rappers, and I just feel like he's one of them people that a lot of cats will continue to let fly under the radar.
Yeah, and that's we're fine with that. First of all, when the coin flips, we're 100% neutral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Young Cannon could get in there and drop 30. Like, that's not on RBE's.
Right.
We don't care about that. Like, we would like to see a great battle, but we're not rooting for anybody. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we do know that there's RBE gunners, you know what I'm saying, that we promote heavy. And I see them underdogs in a lot of battles. Why? Because we just test them like that. Oops, here's Old Red. Oops, here's Daylight. You know what I'm saying? Oops, here's this person. Like, Gems, here's Cortez, here's Rich Dollars, here's Serious Jones, here's Averb, here's Goods. You know what I'm saying? Show Off, here's Awesome, here's Big K. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what we do. Like so, I mean, Murder coming off of Old Red and getting another guy that people are saying he's the underdog with, good. Good. You know what I'm saying? That's just the type of shit that we do on RBE with the people that we rock with heavy. Heavy Half is a guy we fuck with heavy.
Right.
We gave him Math coming off of Hollow. You know what I'm saying? So, something about RBE.
Oops and Emerson Kennedy, right?
That's the substance talk to these motherfuckers. The whole room
Right.
is gonna be quiet during some of these moments and pay full attention. Battle. That's what that matchup is.
That's an ill feeling as a writer, when you know you can go into a environment like battle rap, and have people just on some shh
When
type.
when Oops what you just said, once again, I pay attention to the intangible stuff. In my shoes, it makes me a better promoter and a better platform owner. When Oops battled Craig Lamar, if you go watch that footage, Craig Lamar goes first. When Oops started his first round, he flattened the room. And you see me turn over to Shotha, and that's exactly what I said. Because I'm watching Oops start, and just as he said like his first bar, the whole room went. And I turned to Shotha, I was like, yo, he just flattened the room. Right? Because your presence, how you set something up, you know, how you play with your octaves and your tone. You could be like, yo, I don't give a fuck, I'll kill you, blah, blah. Wait, I need to tell y'all some shit about what happened yesterday. And everybody's like,
Oh.
Right. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to set shit up. And even your position on stage, from facing your opponent to then moving to the front of the stage and facing the crowd and looking people in their eyes, people start to level. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to be up there, perform and deliver certain things and control the crowd. And that's why MCing, you know, move the crowd. And controlling the crowd is part of battle rap, whether people want to accept it or not. It's part of it. Whether it's hecklers, whether it's booing, controlling the crowd is part of MCing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that battle right there, the substance that those two guys are capable of bringing to the stage, and then Emerson Kennedy debuting, not just on RBE, but this might be his New York debut.
No, he battled Jerry West.
Oh, in New York?
Yeah, and that was, I believe that was in New York.
I'm not sure.
Now you're making me doubt it.
Jerry
West
sure.
and Emerson, I think, might have been his first.
Point being, though, one thing about artists is they rev up when they get to go to big cities that they're not from,
especially
and
New York,
perform.
the Mecca.
That's exactly what I
feel
was gonna
it.
say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like deep in the artist's soul, you know, he has a bucket list of shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Performing in maybe Cali or performing, you know, in New York. You know what I'm saying? And getting love in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Look at like Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Like how many interviews does Snoop Dogg and Corrupt and these guys have us saying like, yo, we just wanted the love from New York. Coming from Cali,
Yo, that Source Award
we
shit
just wanted the love.
is one of the biggest things in Cali history.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are artists,
Yeah.
you know, and they killing where they from. And
Right.
they sign record deals and all types of shit. But you still got that damn, like, you know, we just wanted New York's respect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Emerson Kennedy is coming into that type of feeling, even though it's in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm misjudging my own fucking shit right now. But it's that RBE vibe of what we always put out there, that type of energy that we create. So him coming out of Cali, getting into a major city, it's just like, and we kind of like had this back and forth. I could feel that energy from this guy. And then you take Oops, and Oops wants to prove something even though he doesn't have to. Is because I think Oops, you know, he's aiming at even the next level of battlers. Like, Oops don't limit himself. He'll call me quick and be like, yo, I want Lux. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we set up him and Emerson Kennedy, he was like, yo, what I do to him, you better fucking upgrade me after. I'm like, shit, Emerson Kennedy's a great
Right.
battle. What's wrong with
Right.
you? So even those type of chips on your shoulder, you know, these things all add up to creating great battles.
Do you think Oops star level is gonna take another jump when this documentary and all that stuff comes out?
It could and it should. And Oops, I believe he's resigned as a state councilman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I believe he's back battle rap, like, quote unquote, full time.
You know what? I got an ill story about Oops. I don't know if you know this.
What's that?
So sometimes, and I'm sure you know, when you get emails, it's overwhelming. I mean, like I don't even check most of the main Rap Grid emails. I see previews of the subjects, and I'm like, come on, son.
Yeah.
How do I battle? A bunch of thousands of emails like that. You know what I'm saying? But one day, and I just feel like this was destined to happen. It was I logged into the email account for whatever reason, and I saw an email where the subject looked a little funny to me, like, please, would love to reach out to a staff member. Just something that seemed like a nice email. I clicked on it, and it was this lady explaining that she has the same condition that Oops has. Is it like a tumor or something like that?
Well, you know, he's been battling cancer for years now.
Yeah, but specifically, was it I wonder,
that he went and saw.
Yeah.
That was years ago. I remember that.
So I guess she heard him talk about that, and she was like, you know, I have the same issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I could go any day. I'm remaining strong. And like, yo, I was reading this email with like a tear in my eye. You know what I'm saying? And she told me that Oops, she knows that like Lux and Mook and all these guys, but Oops was her favorite battle rapper because he was so strong, and he gave her strength to continue on. People
don't. I'm not exaggerating when I say this because it happened on the RBE platform. But number one, anytime somebody asks me my top 3, top 5 favorite battles of all time, Daylight and Oops is always going to be one of them. You know, not because it's RBE bias. Number 2, of all the battles I've watched, of all the battle rap shows I've been to live, I have never, ever, with the exception of the Daylight and Oops battle, seen people in the crowd cry. It's a fucking fact. There's interviews after the event is over on from Michael Hughes and bloggers like, yo, there was people. It's confirmed, and you don't even have to take my word for it. Like, my live is over. You don't even have to take my word for it. Even people that wasn't in the building are in the comments of the fucking YouTube video saying, yo, I can't front. That shit made me tear up.
Right.
And you're not even in the building getting the live feel. You know what I'm saying? So that and then
this was probably a little after that battle happened, I think.
You know, it was, but I'm saying it spawned from that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It spawned from that because that moment, and Daylight did his thing in that arena too.
Yeah.
But that moment was so touching. Then it went viral, mini viral on Facebook. It had like over 1 million plus views on World Star, a clip of it. You know what I'm saying? And that shit continued to touch people. And if we're talking about the same situation, we might be. I believe when Oops went to go, and these are people he didn't know, these people that reached out to him, I believe it was even on a holiday.
Yep, that is. So you know about
Yeah,
this.
we're talking about the same. Yeah,
yeah.
it was on a holiday. I forget what holiday it was. But Oops went to go see it. They wanted to see this guy, this battle rapper guy, after watching that Daylight shit. And it's just like,
He spent the holiday with their family.
I'll give you a quick thing before we move off of Oops versus Emerson Kennedy. You could see it in the footage. You know, back then, I used to talk about my top 5 battlers a lot. I don't do that too much publicly these days. But I used to say Oops a lot. You know what I'm saying? And people would ask me why. Because, you know, their minds go to the more popular guys. Sometimes people that they feel is more ball head, whatever. You know what I mean? And I said, I have a preference for chest hitting shit. That's just me. Personal preference for chest hitting shit. Before the Daylight battle, his second battle on RBE, which was on our second card, he battled Mr. Mills. He lost that battle. It's funny because he lost that battle. He came back and got O-Red the next card. That's how much we was fucking with him. But in that battle, he did that shit again. And it's the only battle, and plus I wasn't used to being a host as much. You see me walk off the stage in the Oops versus Mr. Mills battle. I walk off the stage shaking my head behind some shit that Oops is saying, like, oh, what the fuck? Like, the shit started fucking. You know how when it gets behind your eyes a little bit? You know what I'm saying? And I felt that little, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? And I started walking off the stage, and I'm shaking my head, and then you see me come back, shaking my head back, like, I got a host. It's the only time I've ever, like, lost, like, oh, you got a job to do. That battle, our second card ever. This was before the Daylight shit. I seen his capability before the Daylight situation. And it's in the footage. So this battle right here, this Oops versus Emerson Kennedy, there's gonna be pin drop moments. You know what I'm saying?
This is one of those battles that if you're super into battle rap, this is something that you want to see. This might be the most anticipated battle on the card.
I see that a lot.
Just as a fan,
I see that a lot.
And I think it has one of those chances to be a sleeper battle of the year candidate, or in that top 10 battles that everybody's talking about was so crazy.
We definitely got one already. Because to have a battle of the year, it can't be like a clear loss. To me, that's my personal.
Unless something so crazy happened.
So crazy, you know, it got to be a crazy, like a Lux performance.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? I just hate saying that because I fuck with Cal's performance so much. I don't want to come off like that.
Yeah.
But everybody knows how legendary Lux's performance is. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, you need both people to really be fighting back and forth to me. And I think we got one of those so far, you know, because sometimes people want to associate Impact with it, whether you believe that or not. And Bill Collect and Hitman is one of those back and forths of this year.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So, Oops and Emerson Kennedy can definitely be like that. And obviously, Math and Serius Jones is heavily promoted. It's created a lot of talk, a lot of buzz, the face-offs and all this type of shit. But outside of once you take that away, the most talked about or the most anticipated battle that I'm seeing is Oops and Emerson Kennedy. Right. Definitely. So
we jump into Suede and Bad News, right?
Yeah.
So something I want to say, Suede is one of my favorite battlers of all time.
Me too.
I feel like his run a couple years back, where like he did the like the QP battle. When he battled Old Red, when he battled Young Cannon, like I never seen somebody battle that many skilled people and just completely make it look like something else. Completely
Suede is the only person that ever made Young Cannon or Old Red look like that.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And probably will be the last. You'll never see Old Red look like that again.
Right.
You'll never see Young Cannon look like that again.
He was on the tear. Like at his peak performance, like his capability is crazy. But something I noticed about Suede is he's not as excited in general about battle rap. So before he battled B Dot, I called him maybe like 2 weeks before, and I was like, "Yo, if you just coasting or like whatever you got going on, like this is the one. I mean, this is the battle you got to get up for. Like, I don't know if you're excited. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you're taking it light, but like, this is the one that's going to put you back in the oh, like Suede is Suede.
No,
You know what I mean?
and you what you analyze is 100% true. You see it in this trend, and Suede is one of my favorite battlers of all time too, which is one of the reasons why he was in our very first main event ever,
Right.
versus Rosenberg Raw. He didn't want that battle. You know what I'm saying? We booked it, and then I think even some of the energy and the anticipation for it and some of his homies got to him a little bit. Because one time he hit me up, like maybe he forgot that, but I remember. You know, he was like, damn, my homies, like, my niggas calling me. They don't really want to see me battle. They're not into me battling Raw.
Right.
And even these are your peers. That shit weighs on you a little bit. It's different for a battler to get a million tweets and their boys like, oh, my God, you got Mook. You
Versus
like,
why
oh,
you taking
shit.
this? Or,
yes.
yeah.
It's, you know what I'm saying? We human, so I get it. And then, you know, at that time, he was telling me, I owe you one. And then when we did the Blood, Sweat, and Tears card and I called him for show off, you know what I'm saying? He got up for that. You know what I'm saying? B Dot, like you said, was one of those type of opponents. The thing with Suede,
Great battle.
yeah. The thing with Suede is Suede doesn't always get the matchups that he wants when he wants them, and some of that is on the platforms. The platform's fault. People like me as well. When he did get a battle that he heavily wanted, it happened to be bad timing for him. That's nobody's fault but him, which was Verb. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he had a big look that he was supposed to be having with Daylight. We don't know what happened with that. You know, Math and Serious Jones situation happened.
That's my biggest letdown battle that didn't happen ever.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that situation. You know what I'm saying? This is
Right.
Suede at peak. I set shit straight, and Daylight at his peak. I'm a troll. How is this gonna go with them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he missed out on that. But you know, we've always tried to when we call Suede, we try to give him that respect. He's taken some battles for us that he didn't have to, like, you know, a heavy half battle. You know, he could have been like, nah, call me back when you got a top tier. Once again, something that we never cared about. But then we've also gotten him great looks for like the Writer's Block versus Team Hami card.
Right.
You know, he main evented that versus Danny Myers. And I think that's a personal moment for him,
Right.
being tied to Danny Myers. I mean, not Danny Myers, being tied to Hami, him being the leader of Hami, the face of Hami. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why I'm proud of that moment for him when you look at the judging and he's holding the PH chain in the air and everything when we're doing the judging. That's you can't say that that's only battle rap. You know, he's basically, as the judges are weighing in, because it was like 5 judges, I think, as the judges are coming in, he's praying or saluting or, because I'm pretty sure he told me that PH always wanted to see that, like a Hami card or something like that. So that's a big moment for him. So I'm glad with Team Hami being the team that they are and so recognized in battle rap, the first real battle rap team, I think, other than maybe Dot Mob, maybe. You know what I'm saying? For them to get those type of looks on RBE, that's part of our resume and our legacy, and I'm proud of that. But he doesn't consistently get the looks and the calls that he deserves. So I think that's when sometimes, because he's one of those guys, he's not like a Young Cannon or a Danny Myers that's going to have his A game no matter what. So if he's not getting those type of calls, I could see him like, and then he slouches when he does take something like, I didn't want this. I'm not even coming out of some energy shit. I'm coming out of some.
He has one of the most powerful legacies in battle rap.
Yeah.
And I don't like.
Yeah.
And I like to see him excel. You know.
Definitely. Suede is one of very few that I fuck with past battle rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been talking to that guy behind the scenes, and we had that type of rapport for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect him past battle rap. And I've always liked him as a battler because he's not like anybody else. His presence and his style, it's not like anybody else. But not to say so. Well, we already said a lot about Suede, but he's dealing with somebody who's coming up trying to kill shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Bad News. I saw a recent interview with Bad News, and I think the title of it was "Bad News Ain't Trying to Hear Nothing About Suede." It was about yeah, he's like, I don't give a shit about shit. I don't care who you are.
Is that Uncle Rod title?
Nah, I think it was on Hip Hop Is Real. You know what I'm saying? And that's the perfect attitude to have for somebody like Suede, because Suede's name alone comes with so much respect that you could automatically have the fans on your side, because you're like, oh, we respect that guy. People forget his talent sometimes.
Right.
Like, we respect him just as much as we pay attention to his talent.
Right.
Bad News has to have that type of attitude. Like, okay, I'm supposed to automatically step on a stage at a L and we didn't even rap yet? Fuck that. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he's coming into this battle with that type of energy. He's got some homie history already, coming off of that Jay Murder battle.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be a good one.
And the Tay-Rock joint kind of vaulted him.
It definitely pushed Bad News up a lot. You know, I think he had one of the best battles of that year. What was that, 2016, when he battled Loso? I had that one of my
all
top
the pocket
battles
checks and all that.
I had Bad News versus Loso as
Right.
one of the top battles that year. Like
No,
top
it was.
5.
It was.
I think it was the same year as B Dot and was it the same year as B Dot and Loso? Maybe. I mean B Dot and Danny Myers, not B Dot and Loso. B Dot and Danny Myers.
I think so. Yeah.
I think I had B Dot, Danny Myers, Bad News, and Loso in the top 5 of that year.
That
That's how
2017
or 16.
All right.
One of them. But Bad News has shit under his belt. Shout out to Bullpen too. Shout out to John. Bad News got shit under his belt. And I don't think that he wants to let up with his momentum right now. I was watching an interview of him talking about his motivation now after his street situation.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't play with none of this shit. Everything full throttle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't already got the message that could have came from nobody but God behind a call that I got for Tay-Rock, you know, fresh after getting shot and shit like that.
You got an opportunity right in front of you.
Yeah. And you don't give a fuck about no name Suede Sever. He's like, it's about me. It's my time. So, you know, I don't want to call this the young blood versus the old. I don't want to put those labels on it, but it could be that type of clash on that stage.
I hope it brings us that energy that we need right now.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I think if anybody has more pressure on them right now, it's not the up and comer. I think it's Suede, because they was just coming off of a narrative that was being created of him before he was booked for this battle of where's Team Homie, why they not being rep crazy, Suede, where you at? That was just that narrative out in the public.
And restore order.
Yeah.
On top of that.
That was just that narrative. So now that he's back and he's got a respected up and comer, this ain't the battle to lose.
Right.
So
it's hard for me to call that one because it's real situational. Suede, Bad News. I think it's.
we definitely gotta jump it like 10.
What'd you say?
We definitely gotta jump it like 10.
Yeah, I got you. Don't sleep, Suede.
Yeah,
Bad
nah,
News
you
could
can't.
get you 2-1 if you sleep, man.
Nah.